Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Monday, September 15, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, police probing double murder in St. Anne. The St. Anne police are investigating a double murder in Ocho Rios. The bodies of two unidentified men, one believed to have been in his late 30s and the other in his late 40s, were found along the Dunsville Main Road Sunday morning. Police theorized that the men were killed sometime between 11 p.m. Saturday and 10 o'clock Sunday morning. Residents reported they heard explosions in the area on Saturday night, but did not contact the police. A police team was on patrol in Marvin's Park Sunday morning about 9:30 when they were alerted by a resident that the bodies of two men had been seen in a gully. The police say one of the bodies had locks covered by a Rastafarian-style head wrap, while the other had plaits. Several 9mm spent shells and a knife were found at the scene. Toll charges coming next month for Williamsfield Highway, says NROC. For the next few weeks, motorists will continue to utilize the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of Highway 2000 toll-free until the implementation of charges sometime in October. Stephen Edwards, Managing Director at the National Road Operating and Constructing Company, which is responsible for overseeing the design, construction, and maintenance of Jamaica's highways, said NROC plans to yield the control of the road next month. We expect the handover to take place in October 2025, he told the news via email on Saturday. Edwards was responding to a question posed by the news regarding the planned toll implementation following reports of vandalism and the cattle straying onto the highway road over the weekend. NROC in a statement said vandalism of a fence resulted in cattle straying onto a section of the highway Friday night and into the wee hours of Saturday. The incident happened a day before the 2-year anniversary of the opening of that leg of the highway. The highway was officially opened on September 14, 2023, with several missed timelines for toll implementation. NROC's statement issued on Saturday afternoon came hours after the news reported that danger still lurks with a cattle straying onto the high-speed road. This as a woman had to be rushed to hospital early Saturday morning after cattle strayed onto the highway shortly after midnight, causing extensive damage to two vehicles, namely a Toyota Axio and a Toyota Tacoma, and injuring occupants. NROC in its statement released mid-afternoon on Saturday said that preliminary investigations indicated that the accident was caused by criminals cutting the right-of-way fencing while likely carrying out acts of predial larceny. When persons cut the fencing to steal livestock from farms adjacent to the roadway, the fencing is left compromised, allowing cattle to wander onto the road. This kind of criminal activity poses a serious safety risk to motorists, the statement read in part. NROC said it has already repaired the damage that was done to the right-of-way fencing. Additionally, NROC will continue to work closely with the police to mitigate against the further acts of vandalism and the predial larceny. The road is open for motorists to continue traveling between Maypen and Williamsfield, the statement read in part. NROC is urging members of the public to report any suspicious activities near the right-of-way fencing. Last November, the news reported that NROC has been managing Phase 1C of Highway 2000 from Maypen Clarendon to Williamsfield, Manchester, as NROC and the Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited continue to hammer out a concession agreement. The November 20, 2024 article said NROC has been managing the Williamsfield leg of the highway since it opened to the public in September 2023. NROC was given approval in July 2024 to accept TJH's offer of US $20.30 million or Jamaican $3.16 billion to be granted the right to operate and maintain Phase 1C of Highway 2000 until November 20, 2036. No bail for St. Catherine man on murder charge. A St. Catherine man accused of fatally stabbing another man during a vigil in Williamsfield earlier this year was remanded when he appeared in the parish court on Friday. The accused is 25-year-old Siobhan Mangos McBean of Williamsfield District. The deceased is 25-year-old Kevin Robinson, otherwise called Maggie, also of Williamsfield. When McBean appeared before Senior Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale, it was disclosed that the case file remains incomplete. The court also heard that there were safety concerns for the accused if bail were granted. The judge subsequently ordered that an alternative address be found to facilitate any future bail application. Allegations are that about 1 a.m. on July 26, Robinson was at a vigil in Williamsfield when a dispute developed between him and McBean. McBean allegedly pulled a knife and stabbed Robinson 3 times before fleeing. Robinson was assisted to the Linstead Hospital, where he later died. A report was made to the Riversdale Police, who launched an investigation that led to McBean's arrest on suspicion of murder. He was subsequently charged following a question and answer session. British national's death triggers ATV probe. Investigations are continuing into the circumstances that led to a fatal all-terrain vehicle accident in Cascade, St. Mary a few weeks ago, which claimed the life of a male British tourist and left his wife hospitalized. The St. Mary Police and related agencies are coordinating a thorough inquiry to determine how the accident occurred, what factors contributed, and what steps will be taken to prevent a recurrence. According to an official report from the Jamaica Constabulary Force on August 21, the now deceased Anthony Hamilton visited the island with his family and was staying at a hotel in Negril, Westmoreland. 7 days later, on August 28, the family visited an attraction in Cascade where they booked and participated in an ATV activity. While operating the ATV with his wife, 61-year-old British national Sandra Hamilton, who was the pillion passenger, reportedly lost the control of the vehicle, which went over a precipice. They were both assisted to the St. Bay Regional Hospital in St. Anne, where Mr. Hamilton would later succumb to his injuries. Mrs. Hamilton was admitted and was treated for her injuries. She has since been released and is back in the United Kingdom. However, at the heart of the investigation is a central question: should an ATV have been on the public road in the first place? Jamaica's policy on ATV states clearly that ATVs are prohibited from use on public roads. A 2014 ministry paper explicitly allowed importation for private property to use only, and authorities have consistently warned that any use on public roads is illegal, subjecting the vehicles to seizure. Additionally, Jamaica's traffic regulations do not designate ATVs as street legal vehicles. The Road Traffic Regulations 2022 require vehicles on public roads to meet established safety and operating standards. ATVs have not met these requirements for street use. Of note also is that the police have issued strict warnings about ATVs participating in public events, including carnival parades and other road activities. When encountered on public roads, ATVs are subjected to seizure and penalties under traffic laws. Superintendent in charge of the St. Mary Police Division, Anthony Wallace, when asked about possible cease and desist actions aimed at preventing unsafe ATV practices, indicated that an active investigation is in progress and that officials do not wish to prejudice the case. Wallace told the news via a text message on Friday that a full report would be issued in due course following the investigation, adding that the JCF extended its condolences to the family and the friends of the deceased. Meanwhile, some government regulatory bodies have been reticent about confirming whether cease and desist orders have been issued or what steps have been taken to ensure compliance. Chief among those are the Tourism Product Development Company, which has indicated that it will issue a full statement soon, reinforcing the expectation of closer scrutiny and the potential regulatory actions. When contacted, both Regional Manager Kenya Kidoleng and the Director of Visitor Safety Daryl White Wong directed the news to Marlene Stevenson Daly, Coordinator of Corporate Communications and Community Awareness at TPDCO. Stevenson Daly, however, advised that TPDCO Executive Director Wade Mars was expected to make a statement shortly on the matter, answering all relevant questions. Meanwhile, the police and the investigative agencies are expected to continue to gather evidence, interview witnesses, and review ATV operator licensing, tour itineraries, and the safety protocols connected to Cascade and the surrounding areas. Sources added that regulators and industry stakeholders will also be examining the adequacy of current laws, licensing requirements, and enforcement mechanisms to deter illegal ATV operation on public roads and to protect the visitors and the local residents alike. Licensed tour operators and the tourism authorities are also urged to work together to reinforce safe practices, verify operator credentials, and ensure clear communication to visitors about the laws governing ATV use in Jamaica. All residents and the visitors should recognize that ATVs are not permitted on public roads in Jamaica. For those seeking off-road adventure, engage only with licensed operators and use designated trails or private property experiences where safety measures are in place, one key source shared with the news. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.